vRAN development represents a critical step toward the future of telecom. It offers a pathway to more agile, cost-effective, and high-performing networks that can meet the demands of emerging technologies and changing customer expectations. Joining me to discuss its implications are Cristina Rodriguez, Vice President of the Network and Edge Group and General Manager of the Wireless Access Network at Intel, and Geetha Ram, Worldwide Head of the Telco Compute Division at HPE. Welcome to you both. So what makes the vRAN marketplace unique in terms of both opportunities and challenges for telcos? Geetha, let's start with you.
Thank you, Clarence. Great to be here, by the way, with Cristina and yourself. So what makes it challenging, right? First of all, opportunity. Let's talk about the opportunity. That's the positive part of it. It's a huge opportunity with 5G as everything is going virtualized and open in the RAN space. It is a great opportunity, not only for both of us, Intel and HPE. It is also a great opportunity for the operators because, from the traditional appliance model that they were in so far to the open ecosystem and open general purpose compute, etc., they can go not only the RAN application, but they can go beyond that. They can go into other edge applications like AI inferencing and all that. I mean, they can evolve with 5G, right? So that is a huge opportunity for all of us. What makes it challenging is the fact that it is just that. It is open compute, open platform that operators and all of us, the entire ecosystem is not used to doing edge compute, that is general purpose compute for very critical applications like the radio access network. So we have to be cognizant of power, performance, all of that at the edge. We need to be very, very efficient in making that work. And so that is the challenging part. But, opportunities outweigh the challenges. So I say it's very, very exciting time for all of us.
And Cristina, what do you think are the unique challenges and opportunities for the vRAN market?
Yeah, thank you, Clarence. And thank you for having me here and hanging out here with Geetha. We love to do that. She was right on it. I would add to what she said. If you look at the vRAN, the workload, or if you look at the RAN, rather, the workload is a very demanding workload. It's complex, requires a very demanding performance per watt, very demanding characteristics, and the operators are looking for ways to deal with that, especially now. What do we have? We have more spectrum bands. We have very again, specific and demanding goals for sustainability. We have new use cases. We have the opportunity for innovation, including artificial intelligence brought into the mix here. So you put all that together, and the operators are like looking at how can we address all this that we have in front of us in the best possible way from the technical point of view, but also from the CapEx, OpEx, the total cost of ownership. And this is where vRAN, virtualized RAN, come into play. How can we have a platform, a network architecture that is based on a common platform, on a server architecture that can be software upgradable, that can be completely software defined end to end, and that can embrace all that we want to bring into the table. Challenges, of course, we have been doing things in a certain way, purpose-built appliances type of network architecture. We're doing things in a different way. Of course, there are going to be challenges. There are more players in the ecosystem, different ways to do things, different mindset. So there are challenges, but I think we're proving we are overcoming all the challenges that are in front of us as an industry. There's a lot of learning in the last couple of years that have been applied, and we're seeing the proof of deployment at a scale with uncompromised KPIs. So I think we're right into the journey, and we're expecting this to continue moving and giving the best outcome to the operators.
Recent press releases from both Intel and Ericsson highlighted a first 5G call using the HPE ProLiant DL110 server and Intel's vRAN boost. Geetha, can you elaborate on your collaboration and the benefits it provides?
Absolutely, Clarence. So we are extremely excited about that, and we were at the time, we still are, and this is great accomplishment by the three of us having worked together as an ecosystem. All three of us together, right? So why is this first 5G call so important? Because this is the first time where vRAN Boost has come together with its unique technology of integrated FEC along with a CPU and providing not only that technology from a performance standpoint, power standpoint, and also the TCO standpoint, right? So we just look at vRAN Boost as a technology, just whether it's a look aside or whatever technology for vRAN, but then it brings together those salient points, which is very important for the operator. And so using that, and with our ecosystem partner, with Ericsson, actually having brought this to fruition by making the first call and proving that this is a technology that is capable of implementing the vRAN outside of the traditional purpose built and still achieve that performance and power on a general purpose server like the DL110. I mean, that is a huge accomplishment. So we're really, really excited about this collaboration and about the first call that we completed with Ericsson and with Intel.
And Cristina, what can you share on this collaboration?
No, absolutely. Super exciting. This was a first in the industry. Fantastic collaboration between Ericsson, HPE, and Intel doing a first call. This is on a platform, on a server, the DL110 with Intel Xeon Scalable processor with vRAN Boost. This is the first time that this was done. Bringing to the industry, it's a game changing, right? The possibilities of now having a platform that doesn't require any external acceleration, right? Like Geetha mentioned, all the acceleration, all the way to layer one, including the compute intensive forward error correction, FEC, already integrated on CPU, on die. So first time that this gets done is a game changing. So now you can have this platform available to the operators, and with all the workload, the RAN workload, all the way again to layer one can be run, simplifying the design, simplifying the supply chain even. Is a game changer. And it was a fantastic collaboration, very well executed, very fast also. One of the things that we saw by doing this which is another advantage of being on this type of server architecture, the porting from the previous generation to this generation is nothing, right? It's a touch up for the software point of view. It's a compile command. So it's just a game changing, a fantastic collaboration. Super excited about it.
And coming back to you, Geetha, tell us about the recent announcements HPE and Intel have made and why this is so important to the telecom industry.
So along those lines, Clarence, the idea is for the first time, we have something, and I mention that to Intel all the time. For the first time, we have something that is actually at par or better if you look at the other use cases around the ecosystem to address the vRAN space, right? As I was mentioning earlier, you take this ecosystem, we're only talking about the DU portion of it and how we're accelerating with the vRAN Boost and so on. But then you look at it and you go, there is a CU, and the CU is also HP Intel servers like a DL360, 380, etc. And the CU sitting at the near edge could now bring in other applications like AI inferencing applications, etc., which, by the way, in a purpose-built appliance world, if the CU was underutilized, then you couldn't do anything with it. You couldn't run any other applications. But now we have an ecosystem and a network architecture where you could actually take the spare capacity of the vRAN, not only accelerate the vRAN, not only accelerate the DU part of it, but if the CU and, during lower traffic periods, you now take that combination and you can accelerate other and introduce other applications at the edge, right? So that's why we're so excited with not only the Sapphire Rapids vRAN boost for the DU, but then Sapphire Rapids in general for our core servers, ProLiant servers too. That combination and that overall network architecture, that is huge because that takes the operators towards the monetization part of 5G. That's where you go with the plumbing of the vRAN. Yeah, that's great. Now, how do I monetize 5G? Well, you can put some edge applications where you have some spare capacity, I should say, where it is not, the servers are not fully occupied with the vRAN workload, right? So that's what excites us because this is the first time we have that network architecture that can help the operators towards their 5G ultimate goal, which is monetization of 5G.
Cristina, what are your thoughts on the Gen 11 announcements?
Super excited about it. This is something we have worked very closely with Geetha's team and HPE. It's creating a lot of excitement in the industry. We believe it's going to be something that is going to help operators deploy and scale and move forward. Think about this, right? With Gen 11, we are, as I mentioned before, we have the Intel fourth generation of Xeon processors with a vRAN boost. And what we're talking about here, in addition to what we have said before, we are doubling the capacity, and at the same time, we are reducing 20% of power consumption with respect to the previous generation. So we are basically more than double the performance per watt, which you know how important that is in the RAN space. So again, we are super excited. We have worked very closely, very tight to get the best out of the software and the hardware. And we're looking forward to see it in the market and getting deployed and the operators having the best results out of it and the best outcomes out of it.
So what are you hearing from your customers and what broader actions are you taking to accelerate the deployment of vRAN at scale? Cristina, let's get Intel's perspective first.
It's one of my favorite questions, Clarence, because we are at a point, I have been saying this for a while, and I say it again, I truly believe we're in a point of no return. Right? I think anybody that we talk to is not about if, it's about who, not only when, but how fast can we go? I think the momentum continue, the proof is there. We're seeing major operators in the brownfield and the greenfield deploying at a scale with uncompromised KPIs, with fantastic operation metrics. We have seen here for example, here in the US, Verizon deploying thousands of virtualized cell sites, and we're seeing proof everywhere in the world, around the globe. So I think it's there. I think again, it's a journey, right? This is a journey. We understand that there are learnings, and we're overcoming all the challenges. Even what we thought it was a challenge at a point is not a challenge anymore, and the industry is moving forward. And this collaboration with the ecosystem, such as the one we have with HPE and Geetha and I have, this is what is helping, right? Because we're bringing the best of technologies together, putting the best mind together, and putting a solution out there that is going to unleash a tremendous amount of innovation from all the developers in the world that know how to develop for these platforms. And it's going to be out there scaling, and again, giving the operators what they need to be ready for the future, but also for today with the best innovation and the best TCO.
And Geetha, what are you hearing from your HPE customers?
So to build on what Cristina said, right? If you talk to the customers, they look at it from like three angles: business, technology, and operations. So technology, we've done a really good job between the two of us, with this vRAN boost. We used to have a challenge with respect to, having a separate FEC card and, having all of those back and forth between the CPU and the PCIe card and so on. With this vRAN boost, we have that integrated and addressing the performance, addressing the power, as Cristina said, all of that from a technology standpoint, we've done well. And with that comes the TCO with respect to the integrated solution and how that addresses the TCO. And there's no need to have an extra PCIe card. We have extra PCIe slots for other things, network cards, NIC cards, and so on for the front haul, increasing the capacity. So that's all great from a TCO perspective. The good news is from there, the operators are looking towards operations part, the third part of the three-legged stool, right? Which means they're serious about deployment, right? And this is when the operations people come in. And so now we're talking about, how do we ramp up at scale? How do we do zero-touch provisioning at scale? Those type of challenges and those type of conversations, okay? Which is great news. I mean, it's a good challenge to have because that means they're really serious about deployment, and this is where they want to start, deploying at scale and ramp up at scale, which is great news for both, Intel and HPE.
With the journey toward vRAN now well underway, Geetha, what are your expectations and goals for 2024 and beyond?
For 2024, I almost look at 2024 as, making sure that we ramp up and scale and then once and for all prove that vRAN, Open RAN is something that can be used as a mainstream, at scale, right? I mean, we've all been talking about things like POCs and lab trials and field trials and so on for years now. And together with Intel, we were the first ones that, between HP and Intel, we started the journey back in, 2018, 19, whatever. And then, it's been a long journey and we have achieved our goals and gotten this far. And I really like to see 24 be the year when, with the vRAN boost, with the Sapphire Rapids, with the ProLiant servers, we ramp up at scale with worldwide operators, right? That would be the fantastic conclusion to where, all of the work that we have done so far, okay? And then going into 25, both of us, we have been looking at, starting to look, I should say, at the next generation Granite Rapids. I know just a cursory look at that. We haven't spent a whole lot of time on that, but I've already seen that Intel is looking at the next step, if you will, with respect to not only the technology, but the TCO. How do we get the operators there? It's only going to get better from here, right? But 24 has to be the year where we actually prove to everybody, including ourselves and the operators, that this can be done at scale and prove that, vRAN can be deployed at, mass deployments and at scale. That's the immediate 24. And then into 25 is the further improvements, with respect to TCO and technology.
And final thoughts from you, Cristina?
Yeah, no, very much aligned with Geetha. 2024 for me is about scaling. We have seen already a scale from both brownfield and greenfield operators, but I think 2024 we're going to see a lot more of that. We, of course, the availability of servers such as the DL110, Gen 11, with our vRAN boost, Intel Xeon scalable processor with vRAN boost, I think is going to make a difference. Going to give the operators the technology that they need to virtualize the network and confidently know that they can have uncompromised KPIs. So this, I'm looking forward to this around the globe, right? Scaling, global scaling of vRAN. And moving beyond that, of course, we're going to continue investing and continue innovating in our roadmap. We're very excited about that. We continue every couple of years having the best CPUs available there for vRAN workload. And just by being on the train, you'll be able to bring all that benefit. I think they will continue narrowing the need for custom solutions, which the operators will be able to benefit from. And again, the idea is having the best solutions so the operators can innovate, can have the best experience for their users, and best TCO and the best outcomes in general. We're very excited about the next year and the future, I would say.
Well, Geetha and Cristina, thank you both for your insights.
Thank you, Clarence.
Thank you, Clarence.